Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. You know, a little known fact about me is that I am a fan of Power Rangers. I'll give you a moment to recover from that shocking revelation. On the off chance you know nothing about Power Rangers other than it features a bunch of multicolored spandex-clad heroes.
That is not spandex! The material is a self-assembling memory.
Whatever. The point is, if all you know about it is that, the thing to note about all of its various seasons is that the majority of its action sequences come from a long-running series of shows all classified together as Super Sentai. It's actually kind of ingenious, really. While work still needs to be done to re-Foley and redub these sequences, you save a bunch of money on the effects, but don't have the awkwardness of dubbing that can make it look like a poorly recorded Godzilla movie. But since they started first and have been going on longer and have different quality standards than in America, Super Sentai often has radically different plots than Power Rangers. Fortunately, hitting rubber-suited monsters is a universal constant. Now, me personally, I'm just not interested in Super Sentai because it was Power Rangers that I grew up with. I don't doubt the quality of those shows, and I might even check them out later for funsies, but it's the American series with their puns and dangerous pink energy and evil pizzas that are no match for a simple stoplight that will always be the thing I choose to behold. But then we have Patreon-sponsored reviews, so people can make me watch or read something against my will, and here we are now. I am your obedient review puppet. And thus we have this particular string of episodes for Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. Hey, don't look at me like that, it's how it's pronounced. A series about a group of warriors from an ancient human society that coexisted with dinosaurs until the evil witch Bandora waged war on the dinosaurs and wiped them out. Still a more accurate dinosaur history than Marvel. The 5 warriors were placed in suspended animation, because in fiction, ancient civilizations are more advanced than us, hence why they're also easily destroyed, before being awakened by the wizard Barza to contend with Bandora. Bandora herself had been exiled to another planet by guardian beasts. Said guardian beasts then lent their power to the 5 warriors so they could become multicolored fighters. But today's review gives us the 6th member of the ensemble, and the one that on American TV ended up becoming quite possibly the most popular Power Ranger of all time. Let's dig into Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, episodes 17 through 22, and see what I make of this stuff. The theme song to the show introduces us to our 5 heroes, as well as a bunch of stop-motion puppets resembling their ancient animals. Eat your heart out, Spielberg! The first thing that I notice about the song, especially in comparison to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is how much more mellow this theme song is. Sure, it has its exciting bits, but it's just like, yeah, we've got cool weapons, but it's really not all that big a deal. So anyway, let's jump into the first scene of this children's action show. Damn it! Why didn't we have the Power Rangers fighting Satan and not just the Sentai? The Power Rangers could have stopped one more day! So after Bandora finishes pledging her allegiance to Spencer's gifts, the long box of the damned skull transmits a message to her crystal ball.
You've got mail.
The crystal ball shows a little boy who will apparently be important for her wish to destroy the Zyurangers. Said boy, in tiny shorts, because Japan, realizes that today is a special day and looks under the floorboards of his home. There he discovers a chest and a green key within it that starts glowing. Enjoy the radiation, kid! And then smash cut to a dude surrounded by candles and covered in wax? Gotta say, this cemetery has a really crappy maintenance staff for cleaning the crypts. However, the kid's big-nosed, and I mean obviously fake big nose, even by low-budget standards, Grandpa arrives to try to get the key back from him. Naturally, since this was of vital importance, he went home in his slow-moving construction vehicle. This is the song written for the kid Chase. His grandpa will get back the key. He tried to kill him with the forklift. However, it is not Gamera who comes to this child's aid, but the Zyurangers, who I guess have child danger sense or something. Also, two of our brave ancient guardians are smacked off the forklift by an octogenarian with a fake nose and sunglasses. Apparently, the old guy is named Gnome, who had previously helped the Zyurangers defeat whatever the hell they called Pudgy Pig in Japanese. They try once again to stop Gnome from killing his grandson, but Barza the Wizard shows up in his very wizardly white truck. He tells the five not to interfere. Satan, child murder, and tiny shorts. Thanks, Japan! Apparently, the key gives the kid incredible leaping powers, since he's able to jump up and out of the way of the two attacking old guys. You know, I'm pretty sure this was a scene in Superman Returns. Our heroes finally grab the kid. You know, I wasn't expecting to need alcohol this early, but here we are. The kid, Ryota, explains that there was a sixth warrior placed into hibernation, and he goes by the name Burai. He also tells them that he likes shorts because they're comfortable and easy to wear. Gnome apparently also lived back then and was the one to put him to sleep, since he's more powerful than all five of them and is the only one who can defeat Bandora. Well, then why didn't he defeat her the first time? Was he on break when Bandora killed the dinosaurs? Anyway, because magic or whatever, Burai can only be woken up on the same day he was put to sleep. So there were no other June 19th in the last 170 million years? Was it like a leap year or something in this universe? Ryota runs off when the Rangers want to hear the explanation of why the old guys don't want to wake up Burai, and back at headquarters, the other Rangers are reading their giant book of plot details. Seriously, I've never understood why huge books are considered much more impressive or mystical. Doesn't it just make it cumbersome and more difficult to read, which defeats the entire point? And then Bandora calls them up just to tell them how Burai is going to be woken up, even though she has no reason to call, which even they point out. Meanwhile, the Great Wizard Barza and the ancient gnome fairy guy are raiding Ted Nugent's pantry for machine guns and grenades. I know that this will teach my grandson a very valuable lesson about stealing things. Gun-toting old men who keep unnecessary secrets from those around them. Starting to think 170 million years might be a good retirement age. Speaking of, Ryota and the two Rangers arrive at the cave and are immediately attacked by some squibs. Gnome and Barza. The South shall rise again! Ryota runs forward to go to the cave, and his loving grandfather opens fire on him. You know, I'd just like to remind you that so far the only evil thing the supposed villain of this show has done is say, "Hail Satan," while the good guys chase a little kid, shoot at him, and toss grenades at him.
I do not kill people. That is my least favorite thing to do.
Bandora unleashes Grifrazar and a squad of golem soldiers at the group, although all I can think of is how Grifrazar is giant-sized right now and could easily stomp on them while the golems distract them. But whatever. Time for the epic transformation sequence. Huh, I guess they all use the T-Rex now? Anyway, they summon their guardian beasts, which form into the Megazord. Anyway, Ryota opens the door and is sent flying out, Burai waking up and having the worst case of morning breath I have ever seen. However, turns out Burai is kind of a dick, since he leaps up to them, tells them to go to hell, and starts kicking their asses. You know, I just realized, I don't think he ever does that energy ball thing ever again. At least not in Power Rangers, anyway. I mean, what, is it like a one-time thing where he just waves his hands together and... Huh. Well, that was a waste. So naturally, after this dangerous new warrior appears and kicks the asses of our heroes, there can only be one thing to see in the end credits. Goofy hijinks and silly music. Jeez, and I thought Blake Seven's ending theme was Mood Whiplash. Anyway, from The Sixth Hero, we move on to The Hate-Filled Brothers Sword. It seems like a bit of a mouthful for a sword name, but it is a +3 to stamina, so I think it evens out. Anyway, it turns out that Burai is the older brother of Geki, the Red Ranger! My god, if red and green can't work together, how will we save Christmas? Geki's a little confused about this, since people usually remember when they have an older sibling. And just to add on to the shocking revelation train, Barza tells Geki that he's actually adopted. The king and queen of their tribe were without a child, and so they just decided, we'll just take some peasant's kid. I mean, they've already got one. However, apparently the people were a little pissed off that their monarchs could just take kids from them whenever they wanted. So there was a rebellion in their tribe led by Geki's biological father. It did not end well. After he swore to avenge his father's death, Burai went to live with Gnome's people and worked on training himself to eventually usurp the throne. And since Geki is the heir to the throne, he's gonna be the one who gets the Inigo Montoya speech. Despite the fact that this kingdom no longer exists, and he's still his biological brother who was stolen from his normal life as a baby, and Burai knows that full well since he saw it happen. And let's not even get into the fact that even if Barza and Gnome didn't want to reveal the full details, they could have still just said, Burai hates Geki, long story, if you release him, he will try to kill you all. And Bandora just likes to watch Burai as he stares at crashing waves. This is better than my soaps! Pandora's Dance Party! Woo! You know, I hear Bandora's single went double platinum. What's odd is that this isn't the weirdest Lady Gaga music video I've ever seen. So, like, is this just a regular jam session for her? She'll stop trying to take over the Earth and just bring everyone on a picnic to sing and stuff? The new theme song for Dora the Explorer is weird. However, it seems Burai is not impressed with Bandora's musical talents, but she's a good sport, deciding to help him out by, making him fly away and go on an acid trip. But in this, wherever it is the sword Hellfried.
Of course!
What you gotta love about Bandora is that she keeps a healthy routine for herself on that bicycle. Anyway, Burai gets the sword and, well...
By the power of Grayskull!
Geki is lured out to a fight with Burai, but naturally Geki really doesn't want to fight and promptly gets his ass handed to him. You know, it's said that the sparks thing is supposed to be a substitute for blood, but it doesn't really stop the face bleeding here. Apparently in this version, the Megazord, okay, Daijuzen, can actually talk, giving Geki a sword and telling him to fight for great justice. You know, if you can shoot lasers out of your eyes, maybe you ought to be using that on Burai instead of the guy on your side. I'm noticing a trend that the heroes are bigger assholes than the villains. You know, come to think of it, if the Daijuzen can move and talk on its own, why the hell does it need a cockpit for the Rangers to go inside of? Anyway, from there we move on to Female Warrior Scorpion. Said Female Warrior Scorpion is Lammy, whom Bandora summons. However, right now she's in the form of a rock that very inconspicuously rolls around with scorpions on it. Those things must be pretty chill too, you'd think they'd get smushed. Then again, the rock is only made of styrofoam. However, after beating up the Rangers, the rock hatches to reveal Lammy! I love the caption there, otherwise we'd confuse her with someone else. You know what? I buy that this woman is a secret agent. She rolled around inside of a giant rock without a single person noticing until she attacked. Next Metal Gear game, I want Secret Agent Lammy as the main character. Just imagine if someone was doing a series of retrospective videos about this show and then completely neglected to mention her. Oh, and Lammy is actually Grifrazar's wife. Hot monkey on scorpion action. What I love about this is that Bandora is actually a pretty supportive boss. Not only do they have regular jam sessions, but she reunited Grifrazar and Lammy and even promised promotions and rewards to her minions for a job well done. It's so weird for me to run into evil dictators who know how to keep their employees happy. Is she hiring? Anyway, after a subplot involving dinosaur eggs, long story, we're brought to our next episode, Daijuzen's Last Day.
Daijuzen, 身長 41.7 メートル 体重570トン その力は一撃で山を打ち砕く
And he's single, ladies. So it turns out the Rangers don't actually know much about Daijuzen, but there is one thing they're certain of.
大獣人が神だという以外ほとんど何も知らん
I am interested in hearing more about this religion where God is a giant gestalt robot. Bandora launches a major attack on the city to force the Rangers to summon Daijuzen, even threatening some kindergartners in a bus. However, Barza soon learns the answer. There's going to be a total eclipse.
大獣人は地球の自然と太陽の光が生み出すガイアトロンという不思議なパワーをエネルギーにしているんじゃ
His carbon footprint is nowhere near as big as his actual footprint, which tends to smush the trees that he draws his power from. You know, you guys have guns. Hell, Gnome and Mr. Wizard have actual guns and grenades too. I'm betting you can shoot them without summoning the big robot. Anyway, the eclipse begins and Bandora makes Lammy grow, which for some reason turns her into a lobster monster, I think. Anyway, they're able to fight off Lammy and Grifrazor for a bit, hoping to run away to last out the eclipse, but then Bandora makes Burai grow too. It's something that doesn't happen very often in Power Rangers or Sentai, but it's always cool when it does. Anyway, the onslaught of the three is too much, and the Guardian Beasts are sent, well, into hell, it looks like. So yeah, that's a bummer. But hey, at least the day for night is over. Next up is the Guardian Beasts Great Riot. Can you toss up the air freshener? Seriously, Bandora, why are you trying to take over the world when you could start the greatest band in the universe? During the celebration, Burai decides to finally betray Bandora, but she's not the evil witch for nothing, blasting him so hard he falls back down to Earth. It's definitely something more disappointing when it comes to Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai here. Rita Repulsa never really did much in terms of actively fighting any of the Rangers or showing off her own power. Sure, she would occasionally cast a spell, but lightning blasts like that? I recall her doing it once, against another villain, and she missed. Anyway, Burai finds himself in the company of the littlest clansman. I'm just wondering how that ball is so bouncy against dirt. I am the ghost of Christmas past. And then Burai is pulled along by the ball. He's really kind of having a day, isn't he? Dude helped destroy God and can whoop the asses of the Rangers, but is getting tossed around by powder here. The kid, being a dick, says that he's stuck in this dimension. Inside of it, he will never age. But if he leaves, he'll only have 30 hours to live. Look, kid, I think there are easier ways of finding people to play ball with you. You are a 170-million-year-old guy who lived alongside dinosaurs before moving in with gnomes and fairies, and you were just exiled from the moon by an evil pop singer witch, and you transform into a spandex-clad superhero who sometimes grows giant-sized to battle robots. This is not the weirdest thing that's happened to you lately. After failing to attack the kid, the alternate title for this show was We Hate Children. He hands Burai a new weapon, the Zyuranger, aka the Dragon Dagger. Your European tour with Bandora starts next week. Using the dagger, he teleports out of the place and plays the flute. So here's what I don't get. The flute summons the Dragon Zord, or Dragon Caesar. I get that part, but was it always there? I mean, it's just been sitting there for like 170 million years and nobody saw it. Anyway, the thing goes on a rampage, as it is wont to do, since it's essentially Mechagodzilla. Nom 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 nom! However, the fun stops when Burai spots Geki helping some victims of the attack. How dare you try to help the people I've hurt and killed! Realizing just what a colossal douchebag Burai is, Geki swears to finally fight him. Not that it does much good against finger missiles. Barza, in the meantime, goes to some temple to appeal to the gods to bring back the guardian beasts. Well, Barza, if you can't take care of your pets properly... The episode ends with Bandora unleashing Grifferzor and Lammy against the Dragon Caesar without much success, bringing us to the final episode of the arc. Combine, Goryuzin! So, here's a thought. He's just playing the same damn notes over and over again. Are we sure he's actually controlling the thing? Seems like Dragon Caesar just likes that tune and thinks that's its battle theme. Barza is successful in bringing back the Guardian Beasts, meaning we literally saved the day through prayer. Well, okay, Barza explains that the magma contained Gaiatron energy, so all it did was heal them. But come on, it happened right after he was praying. Oh, and hey, look, they are in heaven now. Avenge me, Simba. Grifferzor and Lammy withdraw so the Guardian Beasts can fight it out. The T-Rex and Dragon Caesar go one-on-one, same as Burai and Geki, including yet another one-off power for the Green Ranger. This one involves playing his flute while walking towards Geki, creating an energy shield when Geki finally realizes, hey, I've got a gun. Geki finally gets the upper hand and defeats Burai. In Giant Robotsville, Daijuzin is formed and body slams Dragon Caesar. Oh, where the hell is the ref? This match should have been called as a DQ as soon as the other Guardian Beasts entered the fight. Daijuzin tells Geki he has to finish off Burai, but of course he's not going to kill his own brother. He even tells Burai that if it'll end his hatred, to go right ahead and kill him. And of course he can't bring himself to do it either. See, sometimes boys just need to work out their aggression by punching each other a lot. Now you two kids go up to your room and find a nice game to play. He gives up his hatred, which causes the sword to disintegrate for some reason. Well, that was easy. Who knew all he had to say was, "Come at me, bro," and that would end it. The six morph into a roll call, but what's more, Daijuzin demonstrates that Dragon Caesar can join with some of the other beasts to become Goryuzin. Unfortunately, things don't exactly end on a happy note, as Burai teleports back to Ghostland and is informed he only has 25 hours and 10 minutes left. I am Clotho. My washer load must only be whites. Also, for a spirit of life, you seem to have a lot of fun killing a guy. And so the episode ends with the other Rangers wondering where the hell Burai disappeared to. These episodes were perfectly okay. Although I still think I prefer Green with Evil. Don't get me wrong, this series, what little of it I've seen, is just fine, and these episodes are perfectly entertaining in their own right. That being said, a lot of the drama feels a teensy bit forced in places. Geki not wanting to fight his brother and ultimately deciding he needs to is handled very well. But Burai's complete dickishness is kinda confusing. There's a bit of a difference between wanting revenge and take over the world. Even if his goals aligned with Bandora, she's still the one who ultimately screwed over your world and forced you to wait 170 million years in a cocoon, man. His turn back to goodness was forced too. As soon as the two fought each other, that was enough for him to give up his hatred? Again! He waited 170 million years for this revenge! And why did the sword disintegrate when he changed sides? It made sense in Power Rangers. The spell to turn him evil was temporary, and the sword kept it going. And then there's just bizarre stuff like, let's murder the child to keep Burai from being freed, and continuation of dinosaur egg subplot from previous episode that ultimately goes nowhere since they go right back where they started. And then there's the destruction of Daijuzin being undone so easily. Sure, in Power Rangers, the Zords had the same thing happen, although with less prayer, but there was an ever-increasing sense of dread throughout the entire storyline, and it was still the biggest defeat the Rangers had ever suffered up until that point. And there wasn't an implication of complete destruction, just heavy damage, which is still pretty bad when your enemy has their own giant robot. And why did Gnome and Ryota disappear from the story when the first episode established that they actually spent time with Burai, and thus might be able to bring him back from evil? However, the saving grace in all of this is, of course, Bandora's concert tour, and just how nice she is to her minions. It's actually quite refreshing after a lot of villains I've seen. Ultimately, Super Sentai is just not really my thing, but that's okay. This was still fun to do, and I wouldn't be against more in the future if it was Patreoned. Next time, though... next time we'll see me echo the children-hating of Zyurangers, since it's Tandy Computer Whiz Kids time again.